For a lot of the world, cricket's just a game. But here in India, it's practically a religion. And every single summer, that religion celebrates its biggest festival, the Indian Premier League. But what if I told you there's a whole other side to this spectacle? A kind of unseen innings playing out just behind the bright lights. I mean, for 2 solid months, the entire country just stops. 10 teams, 10 cities. But really, they become our identities, right? We fight for them online, we cheer for them in our living rooms, we live and breathe every single match. The whole thing is it's fast, it's flashy, and let's be honest, it's designed to be completely addictive. And that's the thing, isn't it? Once a match starts, it is so hard to look away. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? What if I told you that in this whole spectacle, you're not just a fan? What if your attention is actually the product being sold? Yeah, this isn't just a game. It's a business. And it is a very, very big business. So to really get what's going on under the hood, we have to do one simple thing. Follow the money. And trust me, there is a staggering amount of it. Okay, let's start with a number that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. 48,000 crore rupees. That's what was paid for just 5 years of media rights. I mean, it's an almost unimaginable figure, and it instantly puts the IPL up there with the biggest sports leagues on the entire planet. And if you think that's wild, wait till you break it down. It means that every single IPL match, just one game, is worth about 118 crore rupees. That's the price tag they put on just 3 hours of our collective attention. Mind-boggling, right? And oh, it doesn't stop there. Not even close. The Tata Group just renewed their title sponsorship for a record-breaking 2,500 crore. See? This isn't just a sports league anymore. It's a financial empire. So, the big question is, where is all this money actually coming from? Well, it comes from you. Or, to be more precise, from your attention. The entire league, the whole shebang, is built from the ground up to capture and then monetize every single second you spend looking at the screen. I mean, just think about it for a sec. A classic test match drags on for 5 days. A one-day international, that's a full 8-hour commitment. But the IPL, it crams all that drama, all that action, into just about 3 hours. And why do you think that is? It's because our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, and this T20 format is perfectly engineered for that. It's all about maximum excitement in minimum time. Fast runs, fast results. The whole experience is it's meticulously crafted. Every big six, every nail-biting last ball finish, that's all designed to give your brain a little dopamine hit to keep you glued to the screen. And those breaks in the game? Yeah, they aren't just for strategy. You've got ads crammed in after every single over. And those so-called strategic timeouts, they're basically just extra ad breaks. We're talking about being hit with somewhere between 80 and 100 ads in one 3-hour match. And here's where it gets really interesting. Until pretty recently, a huge chunk of that ad money, like a massive 40% of it, came from one very specific place: fantasy gaming and these real money betting apps. You know the ones. They were often promoted by your favorite cricketers. So the Indian government steps in and bans a lot of these domestic real money gaming apps. Problem solved, right? Well, not exactly. Did the betting stop? Nope, not at all. A survey showed something fascinating. While 68% of users were already on offshore betting sites before the ban, that number jumped to a staggering 82% after the ban. So all the ban really did was push the problem underground, into this shady, unregulated international space. And let's be real, when you have this much money flying around, plus a booming, unregulated offshore betting market, the temptation for corruption becomes almost impossible to resist. And that brings us to the league's darkest chapter: its long and complicated history with match fixing. Okay, so the biggest crisis really blew up back in 2013. You might remember this. 3 Rajasthan Royals players, Srisanth included, were arrested for spot fixing. Then, just after that, Gurunath Mayappan, the team principal for Chennai Super Kings, a huge team, was arrested for having links to bookmakers. The fallout from this was just immense. We're talking lifetime bans for the players and a full 2-year suspension for 2 of the league's biggest teams, Rajasthan and Chennai.
And the Delhi police investigation, wow, it showed this wasn't just a couple of rogue players making bad choices. Mayappan was accused of leaking crucial insider information, stuff like team lineups, game tactics, even pitch conditions, directly to the bookies. This connection was so serious, they actually filed charges under MCOCA. That's an act designed to fight organized crime. This was big league stuff.
So you have to ask, did the corruption stop with the players? Well, according to the founder of the IPL himself, Lalit Modi, the answer is a big, fat no. He made this explosive allegation that N. Srinivasan, the powerful head of CSK, was actually manipulating the player auction, demanding that other teams not bid on certain players just so his team could snap them up for cheap. So we've peeled back the financial layer and the criminal layer. But there's still another unseen innings being played. This one has very real, very human, and very political consequences. Look, we all watch the player auction, right? It's exciting, it's full of drama. But let's just hit pause for a second and really ask ourselves, what is it we're actually watching? Because if you strip away all the glamour and the fancy graphics, what you have is a human market. It's a live event where people, human beings, are put up on a screen, given a price tag, and then bid on by rich team owners. They are literally declared sold, or even worse, unsold. It's the commodification of human talent broadcast live for our entertainment. It's a little weird when you think about it that way. And these players, they aren't just commodities. They become political pawns. For example, when political tensions flared up between India and Bangladesh, KKR was basically forced to release their star Bangladeshi player. On the flip side, you have an Indian-owned team in the UK breaking this long-standing unspoken ban by signing a Pakistani player. It just goes to show you how cricket is used as a tool for both conflict and for diplomacy. Okay, so we've looked behind the curtain. We've seen the money, the scandals, the politics. Where does all of this leave us? You know, the fans. It brings everything right back to our role in all of this. Think about it. When a player has a bad day in this incredibly high-pressure, commercialized machine, and you jump on social media to send them abuse, maybe just take a second. Is that really passion for the sport, or is it maybe an overreaction that's been fueled by a system that has systematically turned players into products and fans into consumers? So what's the big takeaway here? Look, nobody is saying you should stop watching the IPL. Absolutely not. The cricket is genuinely brilliant, the entertainment is real, and those moments of pure joy, they are undeniable. The message is actually much simpler than that. By all means, watch the game. Enjoy it, but from now on, maybe you can also see the business.